Coming up on ATV News.
There was smoke coming from the canyon and on campus. We'll show you why.
We'll show you how a little paint is having a big impact on abused children.
And how this music is helping with more than just dancing.
It's been a pretty chill week. I'll tell you how that changes this Sunday in weather.
All that and more, this is ATV News. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Adam Larson.
And I'm Austin Elder.
The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals came to Utah State University for the first time. USU students gathered at the Kane Performance Hall this week to observe the United States government in action.
It's incredibly rare for the 10th Circuit to hold oral arguments outside of their courtrooms, and it's incredibly rare for a circuit court to hold oral arguments on a university campus that does not have a law school.
This was the first time that the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals held sessions at Utah State.
Stowe Hall was evacuated due to a fire scare this week. Several Logan City fire engines responded to the building after students reported seeing white smoke and smelling burning rubber in the building. Fire crews say a melted belt on a compressor is likely the cause of the scare.
They're still trying to determine that, but the belt itself did burn up, and they're made of rubber and other composites, so they make a lot of smoke.
Logan City Fire Department also says the color of the smoke was the reason for the multiple fire engine response.
You might have seen the smoke coming from Dry Canyon this week. It was the second controlled burn the valley has seen this month. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, these controlled burns were to improve mule deer habitats in Logan. The USDA says smoke from yesterday's burn could have affected residents who live near the cliffside area. The USDA says the controlled burn will continue over the next several days, keeping trails closed to the public.
A crash involving two vehicles happened near Aggie Station this week. According to one of the drivers involved in the accident, he was traveling westbound when he reached the intersection of 1400 North and 800 East, and he was struck by another driver. AAA says if you feel your car skidding, keep looking and steering in the direction you're wanting to go, and don't slam on your brakes.
USU police are asking for your help to catch a burglar. They want to talk to the people in this car, and police say it may be connected to a string of auto burglaries over the weekend. They say you can help keep your car safe by doing things like not leaving valuables visible in your car, check on if you're leaving it parked for several days, close all windows and lock all doors before leaving your vehicle, park in well-lit areas, avoid parking next to occupied vehicles, don't think dark tinted windows will hide your valuables, and to trust your instincts. If you see any suspicious activity or individuals, contact USU Police.
USU's biggest party is coming up this week, and the USU Student Association is taking precautions to keep you safe while at the Howl. The Howl is expected to have roughly 5,000 attendees. The USU Student Association say there will be 200 student volunteers. USU and Logan City police officers will be there to help keep people safe, but they say partygoers should keep an eye on each other.
Staying vigilant and making sure that the people around you are comfortable and safe and happy and enjoying themselves as well.
USUSA also asks if you are attending the Howl to take action if you see problematic behavior. There are always the other ways you can be prepared, but there are also other ways you can help others.
Upstanding can be a small thing or a big thing. Ultimately, it's just helping someone else. In fall 2011, the people you see here saved a motorcyclist's life after a collision with a vehicle. The biker was pinned underneath the car here, and these people came and lifted the car up and dragged him to safety. This is an extreme example of upstanding.
I think a lot of times, especially students, feel like being an upstander means that you have to be confrontational or you have to directly address problems head on. But the reality is that we want you to do it in whatever way feels best.
According to Fishburne, small acts like helping someone with homework checking on a loved one, or giving a friendly compliment are all ways that you can be an upstander.
Painting for a good cause. McKay Jensen is live in the Fine Arts Building to give us more information.
That's right. I was able to attend a paint night and see past the canvas to see what one foundation is doing to help children.
It doesn't have to look anything like this on your guys' canvas.
This paint night is more than just creating artwork. It's a fundraiser for the Katie Elizabeth Rooms Foundation. Supporters for the Katie Elizabeth Rooms are giving their contribution one stroke at a time.
Right now we are doing a fundraiser for Katie Elizabeth Rooms. Everybody that's here tonight is contributing to the children's bedrooms that we will be renovating.
Drilling, vacuuming, and redecorating. This is all to give children who have been sexually assaulted a safe space. Coker says the idea for redecorating started up 13 years earlier when Katie Elizabeth opened up about her sexual abuse.
She was able to tell me some things that were going on in her home that wasn't right, and helping her through that process and getting her into foster care, and her father was taken into prison. And seeing that whole process, there was a feeling that I needed to do her bedroom.
I was able just to go into my room and not have the same paint color on my walls and not have the same bedding on my bed where I had been abused in. And so that was really powerful to be able to have like this new environment where where I was able to start healing in.
Now, 13 years later, they have created the Katie Elizabeth Rooms Foundation together with the goal of providing safe spaces to sexually abused children. Their first room was here in Logan last month, but Coker wants to expand this nationwide.
Unfortunately, we exist, right? If there wasn't abuse, we wouldn't exist today. There's a lot of children that could use this. I'm just so grateful for everybody that has stepped up and tried to help us to this point.
If you'd like to donate or get involved, view the link on our Facebook page. Live in Fine Arts, McKay Jensen, ATV News.
Thanks, McKay. Feeling those winter blues coming on? I took a closer look into what people can do to cope with seasonal affective disorder. With the seasons changing brings colder weather, and for some people, heightened depression called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, due to not getting enough of that good old-fashioned sunlight.
I noticed myself going home on the weekends a lot more during the winter because where they are, the sun, it's cold, but the sun shines pretty much all day, every day.
It's very different, like in Qatar, it's a desert country. They only have like sands, they don't have snows.
I think it gets me like the motivation factor, because I'd much rather lay in bed and watch TV than go do stuff.
Seasonal affective disorder happens typically at higher latitudes, and obviously during fall, winter, when there's less natural sunlight.
Making sure you have healthy intake will really help keep everything in balance. So what you put in your body is very important, as much as it is on what you do physically.
Right now, the evidence shows that vitamin D may be very important in the production of serotonin and dopamine, actually.
With bright lights like these, you can actually get a good dose of vitamin D, which comes from the sunlight. It's kind of like using a tanning bed, but without any unwanted UV light.
If you are suffering through it, it's not bad to tell someone and talk to somebody about it and find a release of even just verbally saying, hey, I don't feel like myself for some reason during the winter.
If you find yourself feeling groggy or depressed, staying active, eating healthy, and getting some sunlight can really help feel better. Contact your doctor if things feel out of hand.
Little Lambs Foundation for Kids is hosting a 5K in Virgil Gibbons Heritage Park this Saturday at 9 a.m. Put on your running shoes to support struggling families in the community. Along with the 5K, a carnival will be held. Stay tuned for future editions of ATV News, where we take a deeper look at the foundation.
You may have heard music coming from the TSC this week. Some of it came from USU's Music Therapy Forum. And pianos rang out in the International Lounge to help introduce students and passerbyers the music therapy program. You can find instruments of all kinds as part of their instrument petting zoo, or even talk with music therapists. Organizers say they hope that this event sparks more interest in music therapy.
My hope is students and whoever happens to be passing through might just take notice and get curious and want to know more about the field.
The Music Therapy Department is hosting a second event on November 2nd at the Kane Event Center.
You know, coming up on November 2nd, it's, getting pretty cold lately. Mike's here with weather. Is it getting to be cold this weekend?
Well, this weekend is looking a little breezy, but we'll see what it has for us. I'll have more for you in the weather. The current temperature here in Logan is currently at 52 degrees.
And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, I heard, it's almost done. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
So I guess prompter.
In Utah, 1 in 8 women and 1 in 50 men will be raped. Also in Utah, 1 in 3 women will experience sexual violence. Of the completed and attempted rapes against college women, less than 5% will actually be reported. Sexual assault should not be a part of the college experience. Always get consent.
Consent for sexual activity is enthusiastic.
Consent is sober.
Consent is non-coerced.
Consent is verbal.
Consent is mutual.
If you or someone you know has experienced sexual assault, report it at reportingsa.usu.edu.
Students in biological engineering at Utah State University have the unique chance through the Synthetic Biomanufacturing Institute to engineer uses for spider silk. Projects developed in the lab include medical coatings, strong adhesives, and elastic woven fibers. These Aggies from Utah State are influencing and changing the face of biological engineering. Join them and leave your mark as well.
I love the major so much. It's my 4th year in the major. The faculty in the PR department help students get more engaged in PR and get more hands-on experience in the field of PR. When I graduate here, I'll have more experience than other students have because of the classes that we take here on campus. Public relations is far the best because there's so much variety in the field. You go into marketing, corporate communications, you can become a writer because of all the things you learn within the classes of public relations.
Snow made its way to Cache Valley on Saturday. We got roughly an inch of snow that managed to stick around into the next day. Most of the snow melted by the end of it, though. However, the mountains are still keeping frosty. Welcome to ATV Weather. I'm Michael Kay. Let's take a look at our national forecast real quick. And as you can see behind me, we have these several storms going on in the south. Not too harsh, but there is a lot of them. There is a lot of them going on right there. However, the big thing that's going on the East Coast right now, you can't really see it on your screen right here, but there is a massive storm going on near the Scarborough region of Maine. Now, this storm has actually prompted several severe weather warnings, including flood risk warnings in this area. Looking across the Midwest here, we have a storm system coming in through South Dakota into Iowa. This storm system isn't anything major yet. However, we are still keeping an eye on it to see what happens. Looking over into California here, you can see that we have a storm system coming in just right above here. Now, the funny thing is, we have a red flag warning right here. Now, this area is currently under fire danger, so hopefully this rain can help out with keeping those fires down. Let's take a look at our state radar real quick. Now, looking at our state radar, we have a small system moving into Logan. This is going to persist throughout most of the week. You're going to see a few clouds coming in, a few scattered rainstorms, or showers more accurately, later tonight or into this week. Here down in Salt Lake, you can see that there's a few small systems going on. These will probably be affecting them throughout the week. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. So today, Wednesday, we have some breezy conditions going on. You know, you may have noticed that we have some of those winds coming out. If you're flying a drone, probably not the best weather. We have a high of 51 degrees with a low of 25. This will continue about all the way through to the weekend. Now Friday, for all you people going to the Howl, make sure to dress warmly, as we do have a high of 56 and a low of 34 expected to hit at about the same time as the Howl. So if you have a costume, dress warmly. Sunday, we are expecting a small snow shower. This will be with a high of 39 degrees and a low of 19. As you can see here, these snow showers could be a little bit problematic into your weekend. However, going forward into Monday and Tuesday and into the rest of next week, we're looking fairly good. We're getting a little bit warmer. We have about 41 degrees as our constant high and 20 degrees as our low, with a constant bit of sunshine. You're all caught up on Cache Valley weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Mike. With the good weather this week, it might be a good time to check out the newest addition to the Logan Parks District. That's right, after construction and weather delays, the Bridger Bike Park is finally open. Brandon Dean was at the grand opening and has the sights and sounds from the people who were there.
You guys that have been waiting forever, you can get going in the bike park.
Felt like it was an eternity, definitely. A little tempting to come out and ride, but I had to respect the trails being built.
Since 2000, we've been trying to figure out a way to get a bike park funded.
I think the coolest part about it is just seeing all the kids and the youth being able to come out here.
Been impressed with what there is available for little riders.
Just because it's for all ages.
It's just convincing them that they are little is sometimes hard.
We have a beginner, intermediate, expert lines. You can kind of work your way up to learn how to jump, learn how to control your bike better.
They've only almost got ran over a couple of times, so we just need to help them remember to stay on the little kids sections and not hang out at the bottom of the tabletop.
This is your park. Your community's made it, so love it, take care of it.
There's a lot of ruts and tracks in the park right now, and that's due to people riding in it when it's wet.
We're going to need to have community ongoing care, watering, shaping, and caring for this park. It's not made out of concrete, it's made out of dirt.
A lot of it still needs to settle. A lot of this dirt's not hard packed yet.
It's a community bike park, so you get to meet all the riders in your community, and it's usually way more than you even thought of. Because when you're on a trail, you get to the trailhead, you see like one or two trucks, and maybe you talk to them, but usually you're just doing your own thing. It's a good thing it's beautiful weather today, and the sun's going down, but still plenty of riding.
As a reminder, the Logan Parks District asks you to stay off the track when it's wet and says if you'd like to help maintain the park, you can contact their office or the Cache Trails Alliance.
Zoos aren't usually spooky unless you're afraid of animals. Zootah has gotten into the Halloween spirit to raise a little money. Boo at the Zoo, a Halloween-themed fundraiser, featured games, booths, and a bouncy house. Zookeepers displayed creepy crawlers, and many zoogoers were in costume.
It's just fun to see them all here having a good time. The weather's cooperated, so we're really grateful that the weather has done that, because October can be a little iffy. But with all those things, it's just a fun day at the zoo.
Proceeds from Boo at the Zoo go to help Zootah maintain its animals and facilities during winter.
Now, you may have seen Frozen or The Lion King, but have you seen Olaf and Pumbaa made with pumpkins? Kids from all over the valley go to the annual pumpkin walk in North Logan to see the pumpkin movie scenes. Families, businesses, and clubs volunteer to wow the community with decorated pumpkins and backdrops.
I like to say that there's a volunteer behind every pumpkin you see. Because obviously volunteers have to carve a pumpkin or paint a pumpkin. We've got hundreds of volunteers that help us do this. It really does bring the community together.
The pumpkin walk has been held for 36 years, with the last 18 of those being held at the Elk Ridge Park. Elementary schools nearby take their children and students to enjoy the walk, treats, and photo stand-ins.
You know, that's a nice little pumpkin walk we've got there.
Yeah.
Ariana, you're in sports. Do you have anything more than just a walk for us?
Well, yes, I do. Savon Scarver broke a record this weekend in football. I'll tell you what it was in sports.
You could be eating crickets without even knowing it. We'll show you how.
Oh my gosh, I'm so...
body language. Without saying a word, it can tell you so much. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
Welcome to ATV Sports. I'm Ariana Piper. Let's jump in. You might know about Utah State's men's and women's soccer teams, but have you heard of the other one? ATV's Adam Larson shows you the Special Olympics soccer teams sporting Aggie uniforms.
The Aggie All-Stars Special Olympics team traveled to Salt Lake for the state soccer tournament over the weekend, taking 7 athletes and a host of fans with them. The team's coach says being part of the Special Olympics has not only helped change their lives, but hers as well.
It makes my week every week to see their smiling faces and honestly just have them try so hard, because I know what it's like to not be able to do anything and feel judged for everything you do.
One athlete says he likes coming to
make goals, kicks butt, nicknames.
Athletes say the best part of the Special Olympics is scoring goals and making new friends.
One parent says goals like this are something players love to see, especially with family they're watching.
Hearing the crowd cheer, and then just when something goes right, just makes his day.
Another Aggie coach says the Special Olympics are more than just what happens on the field.
I think just the friends that I've made with the athletes especially. I've gotten to know them throughout these last 3 years, and I just really know a lot about them now, and we've built relationships together.
A chest bump after a goal is something Murdoch says makes everyone happy.
Honestly, if you can put a smile on someone's face, it makes your day better.
Adam Larson, ATV News.
More information about the Special Olympics can be found at sout.org. Aggie football took on Nevada in the snow. Savon Scarver started off the scoring for the Aggies by returning this kickoff 100 yards for the touchdown. It's his 5th career kickoff return for ATD, breaking the Utah State record of 4. Jordan Love's pass to Jalen Warren here helped Love get some of his 169 yards passing in the game. The Aggie defense showed up in this game too, with Shaq Bond catching the long pass for his 2nd interception of the season and returning it 34 yards for some great Aggie field position. Here's Love's only touchdown pass of the game to Caleb Rep, Love's 7th of the season and Rep's 2nd. Jalen Warren's 25-yard run here were some of his 74 yards on the ground in the game. But the biggest offensive play of the game came on Gerald Bright's 67-yard run for a touchdown. One of 2 rushing TDs on the day for Bright and his 126 yards rushing The Aggies got a second interception in the game from Kevin Mietenheimer to help seal the victory 36-10 over the Wolfpack. One Aggie thinks this team can be much better than it looked on Saturday.
Well, like I said, it's good enough to win, you know. It shows that the offense get to clicking, what can we do? You know what I'm saying?
The football team travels to the Air Force Academy this week to take on the Falcons. Aggie men's basketball is ranked 17th in the preseason Associated Press poll, the first time in 49 years the Aggies have been ranked in the initial poll. Aggie volleyball took on Wyoming and number 14 Colorado State at home this week. Check out Haley Cuff getting one of her 17 kills here and then getting up for the block against Wyoming. Cuff again with a kill, leading the Aggies in both kills and attempts with 49 attacks in the match. Aggies would also get some help from Grace Dubé's ace here. Aggies would fall 3-2 here, but Coach DeBose says his team needs to believe in itself.
I think we have to just believe we can win now. I think we've showed we can compete.
Here's one of Bailey Downing's 9 kills against Colorado State. And Maddie Brunati with the block, 1 of 6 in the game for Utah State. Downing again with the kill from the right side, but the Aggies would fall 3-0 to the Rams. The volleyball team takes on Fresno State and San Diego State this week on the road. Aggie women's soccer traveled to Colorado State and Wyoming this week. De'Ara Walton had one of her 3 saves in the game here. Megan Astel's shot just went wide here, 1 of 17 in the game for the Aggies, but they wouldn't capitalize on any of them, falling to the Rams 1-0 in this game. The Aggies took on Wyoming next, where Amber Marshall almost put one in here, just over the net, but Sid Barlow would score the only Aggie goal in the game as they fell 2-1 to the Cowgirls. Utah State takes on Air Force and Colorado College at home this week. The Utah Jazz was just announced as the host of the 2023 NBA All-Star Game, the first time it has been in Utah since 1993. Should be pretty cool to see it here in Utah again. Back to you, Adam.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see that again. Thanks, Ariana. More cats and dogs have found their forever homes thanks to an uptick in adoptions at the Cache Humane Society. The shelter has seen a spike in adoptions for both dogs and cats despite not having as much funding as last year. The rise in adoptions is new for the shelter.
Cats have seen astronomical numbers this year. We've actually beat dogs in adoptions multiple months, which has never happened. That's a first for us.
The fee to adopt a dog is $175. Puppies are $250 and cats are $50. For more information about pet adoption, visit the link on our Facebook page.
Now, when I say cricket, you might think yuck, but some people think, oh yeah. Grandma Nancy's insect farm breeds crickets and mealworms for their flour pancake mix.
There's not too many more things more unique than insect-based food, especially in the United States where it's just not part of our culture.
Breeding insects for people food is a hard market to break into, so this business breeds giant mealworms, crickets, other mealworms, cockroaches, and even rats to feed pets in the valley. They say they'll sell reptiles like these, geckos, turtles, and iguanas until they can make enough money selling insect people food.
You know, we've got a bag of crickets here. We're gonna try eating some of these insect foods.
Oh, let's jump on this.
Yep. Ariana doesn't want to do it, but the rest of us we're gonna do it. So
No,
grab a cricket there, Mike.
All right, I got one.
Here we go, guys. The moment has arrived.
Here we go for journalism.
Oh man, this one's jumping around.
Looks tasty, Mike.
They're great. I don't know what you're talking about. Adam,
yeah, I got a lot
awesome.
of them
You guys
here.
taking part of this?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Feast.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's juicy.
Oh, juicy. Oh.
That is not as
Well,
as
I
it
was
would be.
glad to not participate in that. Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News. You can catch all the latest editions on our Facebook page. We'll leave you with some shots of Katie Elizabeth Room Date Night.